Good morning, everybody, and a massive welcome to Google Digital Garage this morning. An absolute pleasure to be here with you on this fine Tuesday for our upcoming session, which is Build Your Personal Brand Online. So we've got a packed hour. We've got a lot of things to get through, some really great information about your online presence, how to really establish yourself positively online, and make sure that you're exuding all of the positivity that you need to get ahead. So welcome along. My name is Glenn and I'm a trainer for Google's free skills training program, Google Digital Garage. I'm an experienced digital skills trainer. I've got a big background in management, team management, consultancy, digital marketing. I'm really helping organizations identify opportunities to grow, to expand their presence, and to keep up with tech, with all of the developments that we have in the digital world that really can aid us along our journeys. Now, I'm not on my own today. I am here with my good friend and colleague, Benedict, who you're going to find in the chat. So depending on what device you're using, you will see Benedict either to the right-hand side or underneath the main session window. Interact with Benedict, say hello. I can see quite a few people are actually now saying hello. So welcome to everybody that's come along this morning. Say hello to Benedict, interact with him, but also, he's a font of knowledge. So please do ask him questions as we progress through the session today. We do have a few pauses for questions throughout the session to break up the individual sections. And what that's going to help you to do is to get your questions answered, to move along, to grow. And Benedict will answer most of your questions. There might be a couple that you might pass over to me as the session moves on. So use Benedict to his full extent. He's a digital expert. He's a very experienced Google Digital Garage trainer himself. So take full advantage of that. That's two people here that are going to try and help you as much as we possibly can today. Now, before we do actually get going, let's just say hello to a few people and see who's there. Oh, somebody, excellent. I was at Hounslow at a Google event on Friday of last week. So hello to Meg. It's really, really good to see you. And again, thanks for dropping in and saying hello. Thank you very much indeed. And thanks for passing that over, Benedict, as well. I can see there's Cheyenne, there's Ahmed, there's Shraddha. Good morning to everybody. TZ, welcome to you as well. So thank you for coming along. Have your pen and paper ready. Or your note-taking device of choice for the wealth of information we're about to be running through. Now, if you are having any difficulties this morning in terms of the picture that you can see or the audio, refresh your browser. That is generally going to help you to fix any issues. It's that age-old adage, and especially in tech, if it's not working, close it down and restart it again. There's Ahmed, good morning to you. There's Cindy, good morning to you as well. So thanks a lot for coming along. Now, I've mentioned about the chat function. So yeah, if you can't see the chat function, then sign into your YouTube account or create a YouTube account, and then that will give you access. If you've got a YouTube account, one of the lovely things about it, and actually quite useful for sessions such as these, all the Google Digital Garage sessions, they're always going to be live and available up to 24 hours after you've signed on. So they'll be in your history if you've played this session, if you're in this session now, but you can also just go into the link that you got in your email invite and you can click on there within 24 hours and watch the whole thing again. So if there are certain sections that you want to go over, if there's certain information you'd like to double check or see how applicable it is for you, your personal growth or your business, then you have the full opportunity to do that. Now, before we do actually get going, I'm just going to quickly mention the Google Digital Garage site. There's a lot more training on there, lots of more webinar sessions that you can book up for, just like you've booked up for this one. And also a fantastic course called The Fundamentals of Digital Marketing. Now, that's a 40-hour video learning course, which once you work through the sessions, you do the assessments at the end. When you've completed the final assessment, after those 40 hours of video learning, do it in your own time at your own pace. You can then, once you've passed, download a certificate that's endorsed by Open University. It looks really good on your CV, looks really, really good on your LinkedIn profile as well. And again, just shows that you're grasping the concepts of digital marketing. And of course, building your personal brand online is a massive part of that. Everything we do online, as we're about to find out, is helping us to build and establish our brand. So we need to be really, really careful. All right, so that really is, I think, all of the housekeeping done. So let's get on with the webinar this morning. So sit back, buckle yourselves in, and again, please do get involved in the chat function as we work through. So let's have a look at what we're going to cover. Today, we're going to be looking at, in the first section, understanding our online presence and our personal brand. Then we're going to be looking at building our brand online, what that means, what we need to do, the platform choices, the content that we're going to be looking into, writing our bio, establishing ourselves and being seen for all of the things that we want to be seen for. Good morning to Lakshay, who's just joined as well. Good morning to you. We're going to be then in the final section looking how to increase our online visibility to make sure we can reach the people we want to reach and accessing all of the tools that can help us to do that. So before we get going, just want to mention another service that is available. If you're based in the UK and you work for a small business or a charity, then you can sign up for our Google Mentoring. As you can see on the screen, the link there is g.co/UK Mentoring. I'm sure Benedict will be able to share the link for this service in the chat for you. And also, Benedict, if you wouldn't mind, oh, you've done it already. You've already done the Digital Garage link to. Didn't see that one. Thanks very much indeed for doing that. But please share the g.co/UK Mentoring. Sign up. You get an hour with a digital expert looking over the topics, digital topics of your choice on a very, very individual basis. It's a video virtual call whereby you can talk through the individual challenges that you're experiencing. It's really valuable. Benedict and I are both part of this program, and we've both seen some really good outputs, some really good results from having these sessions. So if you think it can help you, nothing to lose, everything to gain there. Please do sign up. All right, so let's move into the first section, understanding our online presence and our personal brand. Now, let's get into the mindset for this. Let's start to think about it. Now, if you've got any brands that you buy regularly, then ask yourself, why do you buy or purchase or engage with that brand? Why is that? Again, drop some answers in the chat for me. What makes a brand stand out for you? And also what do you think defines a brand? What is being a brand? What does that actually mean? Now, I'll give you a few seconds just to drop in a few responses to that. But I will carry on. And then again, if you've got any alternative views, perspectives, drop them in the chat as well. So a brand is a type of product that's manufactured by a particular company under a particular name. But now it's a lot more than that. You know, a brand is how products that are the same can stand out from each other, our unique selling points, our differentiators. That's really, really important because there are so many of us out there. There are so many of us clamoring for the kind of same space. So one of the ways that we can stand out from the crowd, one of the ways that we can establish ourselves is to be individual, to differentiate, to show our unique selling points or our unique selling propositions, and ensure that when people are looking for products or services or anything that we're providing online, that we stand out. And we're going to run through how to do that and how to best achieve that. But first, we do need to get into understanding our online presence and our personal brand. So hello, I've got a couple more hellos. Kelly Johnson from the US. It's 5:06 a.m. That's keen. That's really impressive. Welcome to you, Kelly. Thanks for coming along. And it's nice to see you too. And yeah, have a really, really good day. I hope this is going to be of benefit to you. Now, your online presence is everything that you do online. So, you know, think about all the stuff you do online. Maybe, again, things we might take for granted. Maybe you've got a social media profile. Maybe you post. Maybe you comment on blogs. Maybe you do comments. Maybe you've got multiple presences across multiple platforms. So this is your online presence. But more than that, you can be looking at photos that you're tagged in, or that you tag yourself in, statuses that you change, again, those words, those descriptions of how your day is going perhaps, or the things that are on your mind. And also videos. Video content is exceptionally popular across the board now. And again, we can feature in our own videos, upload our own videos. Maybe we're doing those reels and those stories. Everything that we're doing is starting to build a picture of us as a brand. Now, I can just see a comment that's come in there. So the preference for online presence from May. I prefer brands that have an inspiring story and that are trustworthy. Absolutely key fundamental elements, which we're going to be looking through here. Inspiring stories, storytelling, building a picture of ourselves and our businesses is so key. Being trustworthy is a massive thing. That's where those reviews, that social proof comes in as well. So we know that we're featuring in content that's created by ourselves. Again, that carefully crafted information that we're uploading to help people get a good picture of us. Then we're also going to be tagged in things. So we can be tagged in articles, comments, or photos. Remember those photos from that night out last week that you're now tagged into? Do you always want all of those things to be visible to people that might be looking for you online? Have to think about that. Have to think about potentially perhaps auditing your own presence online. And then there is, of course, some third-party content, your internet activity, the cookies that are in your browser, your browsing history, the online purchases that track what you've just bought from the supermarket, the offers that you've received. You know, our online presence is wide, it's broadly encapsulating our general overall existence because we do so much online now. So you have to bear all of these things in mind. So remember, photos, statuses, comments, blog posts, news articles. There are lots and lots of ways that you can be mentioned and tagged online as well. I can just see a quick question come in there from TZ. Does online presence mean social media presence? Online presence includes social media presence. Generally, just think about anything that happens online, which we're going to have a look through now. And again, hopefully that should become a bit clearer to you. So you can clean up your online presence. Look at your privacy settings, delete profiles or channels that you no longer use or that serve you no purpose, that again might feature outdated content. People like to be kept up to date and they like to see you being current. Detag or request removal of any content that concerns you. You do have the full ability to do that. And make those decisions in relation to private profiles and public profiles, depending on what you want to achieve online as well. You know, think about pruning the content that you've got and making sure that, again, it all feeds into a positive story that you would like your general audience to see. Google Alerts. If you've ever Googled your name, for example, you can also do a thing called Google Alerts where you can put in your own name. And then every time that your name comes up in a search or gets added in an article somewhere, gets featured or mentioned, you're going to get an email about that. That's really, really handy. I do that. That really helps with perhaps helping you to avoid things like identity theft, and making sure that if other people are tagging you, you're more than aware of it. There is also another tool, which again, I'm going to ask Benedict if he can share the link to. So Google Alerts is one, and then Social Mention is another. It's a really simple to use social media search tool. It aggregates user-generated content from way across the internet into a single stream of information. So that could be really, really useful for you to use as well, to keep a good eye on your internet presence. So remember that there are many ways to be found, and there are many ways, if you're not being careful, perhaps to be caught out at a time you don't want to be. So the focus here is keeping a positive online presence. You've always got goals. Your online presence, everything in your life, hopefully is working towards some type of goal. So your online presence also needs goals as well, things that you want to achieve online. Every post has a point. Everything means something, or perhaps is working towards something, especially if you are looking to build your own business online, or a brand profile that might help you to be achieving some personal goals. Maybe you're doing job applications. You know, recruiters are looking for you online as well. Again, these are all things we're going to be covering shortly. So when does an online presence become an online brand? I mean, ultimately, my answer to that is immediately you post, immediately you put yourself online, because you are then building up a picture. Maybe a hazy picture at first, but as people start to get to know you, they look at all of the channels that you're on, they look at the content that you post, they look at the stories that you tell, the words that they use. You're building a brand. Look again at the big companies that you see that you might engage with, and look at the tones that they use. Look at how they communicate with their customers. It's really, really important to see how big, well-established companies do it, because then you can start to emulate the professionalism that they bring to the fore. So a personal brand is going to identify who you are, and as we mentioned before, how you differentiate from your peers. Standing out is so important. You want to differentiate yourself from the people around you, the businesses around you. Again, based on your goals, differentiate yourself and help you to be seen in a really positive light. Now, think about a celebrity or perhaps a well-known personality and how you might describe their personal brand. Now, we have another module called Writing for Social Media, which is bookable via the Google Digital Garage site. And in there, there's an exercise where you start to think about how a personality and how their brand, their personal brand attributes can represent themselves. A really good example is George Clooney, who is seen as quite suave and sophisticated and smooth. And if you remember, or if you might well have seen, he does a lot of coffee adverts. And that's because coffee, from a brand perspective, may well want to be seen as suave, sophisticated, and smooth. Those are good attributes for a coffee brand, for example. So matching up the personality to the brand can be a really good way to start to define the tone that you're going to use as a business or a personal brand. So think about what you're doing, think about what you're trying to achieve, and maybe, again, drop them into chat for us. Who would you have perhaps as a personality somewhere that would represent you and your brand really, really well? Have a think, and maybe give the name and why. Why would they represent your brand accurately? Okay, so I'll give you a couple of seconds just to think about that and to do that. I'd love to see some examples, but let's look at some real life examples, because one of the things that we can build with a positive online presence is opportunities for ourselves and the things that we're good at, the things that we do. So you've got Sarah Ritchie there and Sheena Maui. Now, these, again, are representations of themselves that they want to build a picture in the mind of their audience and their potential customers. So Sarah Ritchie is very much into health and wellness. And you can see a very definite and strong visual image down the gym, working out, and again, health and wellness, I think, is very, very clear. Started vlogging fitness and workouts online, now gets paid by fitness brands to wear their clothing and use their equipment because they've seen that Sarah's getting some traction, that they are hitting markets that could be really, really good for the particular brands that want to sponsor the work. So again, a nice way to be able to interact and perhaps make a good living out of being online and doing the thing that you're good at, the thing you love doing. Sheena Maui is very much a foodie. Started to collate the blog some years back of all of the food images that were being posted on social media pages. Now, the blog quickly grew interest, and after a while, Sheena started to receive questions and letters off of her fans requesting recommendations. So engaging, using the social media power, the communication, and really interacting with people. Now, Sheena regularly receives invites from local restaurants to try their food in return for a review from the blog. What a way to make a living. Fantastic. Again, a passion that has been brought to life, the authenticity there. Look at the pictures, though. You can see Sarah Ritchie and you can see Sheena are making the most of what they do. Look at Sheena's food pictures. I mean, it's 11:15 here in the UK, and it's not too far away from lunchtime, and you can see some lovely pictures of some lovely food there that are making me hungry. So what a great way to market the power and strength of great food. You can also see from the profiles, though, that Sheena's a London vegan. She's a recipe creator. She's got a cookbook that you can access and buy. She's a fitness and Muay Thai instructor or user, perhaps, of those facilities. And you can also find Sheena on YouTube as well. So alerting people to other ways to understand what it is she does and why. And of course, YouTube video content, what a great way to demonstrate food and perhaps the way to make food, the way that you use ingredients, the way to make some of these fantastic recipes. So you can use a lot of these channels in order to help you to achieve and create. Now, your personal brand really, really does matter. I mentioned about going for jobs earlier on. 69% of employers conduct social media checks. Now, that seriously is going to go up as well, because why wouldn't you use all of the methods available to you to see what someone's like? Now, a lot of employers, are going to be checking those social media profiles, and it's going to help them to make their decision. Because if you think about when you go for a job, then the submission of a CV and a cover letter, again, that's another module that we've got on Google Digital Garage, build a CV and write a cover letter. Great module there if you're thinking about revamping your own personal brand via your CV. But job interviews, and getting a job now encapsulate a lot more than just a CV and a cover letter, and also interviews too. You only get to know as a hiring manager, you only get to know a limited element to the candidates that are in front of you. So why not check out what they're like in real life? Find their profiles, have a look at what they actually do and what actually represents them. And again, you can find out a lot about their values, what's important to them, are they keeping a good eye on the activities that they're doing online? Because 1 in 5, and again, that figure is going to go up, have said that they haven't hired someone because of something that they found online. So if there's ever a good reason or a good focus for you to not clean up or prune your online presence, then there it is. Keep things ticking over. Do those reviews. Get yourself on Google Alerts, like we mentioned. Now, also decisions around relationships, because you can find out a lot about people online. So in a study of 2,000 American dating app users, 77% said that they've researched a date online before meeting face-to-face. Have any of you done that? You're going to go and meet someone. I mean, I've done it for meetings and for sort of public events. You know someone's going to be there. You want to know what they look like so that you can be professional and you can greet them appropriately. Look them up online because they're going to be there mostly in some respect. So think about that. Now, we also mentioned consumers and reviews. So 89% of consumers aged between 33 and 54 trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. I'm in that bracket because I will not buy anything or do anything now or engage in a service, engage with anyone online on a transactional basis unless I've looked at their reviews now, because I think it gives a good indication. We know that sometimes things go wrong, but it's really how they're dealt with. So if you've got a profile that's got 10 really positive reviews, but 1 negative review that's not been responded to and it's just been left, then I won't choose that person or that company, because I wonder if something goes wrong, are you going to look after me or not? Social proof, again, pop that term or phrase into your search engine. Social proof is such a key way for us to make decisions now. I'm sure that a number of us on this session today make our decisions based on that type of social proof and reviews, because it's critical. It's all very well me saying, I think I'm brilliant at this, but when other people say, he's really good at this, then that counts for a lot more. Okay, so we need to establish goals. Goals are key. We need to be working towards goals all the time. What are we working towards? What do we want to achieve? Is it all boosting our brand, our online presence? Is it going to help to give us a return on investment? Is it going to help to get people to convert with us and to make those buying decisions, to email us, to download our newsletter? We need a goal there. So let's have a look at some of the goals of these personal trainers. Sorry, just skipped on another one there. So we've got A, B, and C. So again, we've got Sarah Ritchie there. We've also got an example in the middle, B, from a site called Lean Fitness. And then C, we've got an example from Justin Cooper. So what are the goals of these personal trainers? Are based on the way that they're posting, based on the messages, the visual and the written messages that they're conveying to you there. I'm going to give you a few seconds and then we'll actually just run through the differences, how this is worked out, how we start to define what this person's about and what it is they potentially could offer us and what the benefits for us potentially could be. Okay, so for A, B, and C, let's have a look. So A is very much based on satisfaction, results driven. Sarah's using social endorsements and what look like pretty hardcore workouts to show that they get results. So authentic social endorsements, again, we've just covered how important that is. She's demonstrating her skill and expertise, and she's got a good reach. So she's been quite popular for those, I need to make a change and I probably need to make it quite quickly. Satisfaction is key. Now, B is very quality driven. It's a professional website. There's lots of customer reviews, and they're also offering more than one service. So they've got personal training for that one-to-one experience, or boot camps where you can go and join a group of people if that's the way that you'd prefer to do it. So you can see a different emphasis there. Again, look at the pictures, look at the way that those things are presented, but very clearly there, what our clients say. We're going to tell you that we're good straight away. We're going to get those testimonials up for you, and that will help you to engage with us. Credibility for C. Now, C is relatable because you're not only talking about fitness there, you're looking at food and lifestyle, so much more lifestyle oriented. You've also got the social interaction in the photograph on the top right there. So this isn't just about fitness. This is about more of a lifestyle thing. that's a very humanizing way to put you and your service across. That will appeal to different people in different ways. So if you were looking to potentially get fit, and again, this is going to be interesting if you are thinking about, getting a bit of a fitness regime going, would you choose A, B, or C? Would you be choosing Sarah, Lean Fitness, or Justin? So A, B, or C in the chat. That would be really, really interesting to see. Again, we're representing ourselves in different ways for specific audiences. Okay, so mine's gone for B, quality. All right, fine, good, yes, because that appeals. Absolutely, 100%. Option of one-to-one and groups. Absolutely. Yeah, completely agree with you. Again, it's what appeals, what makes you feel safe, what makes you feel that you're going to be included and be able to participate in the way you want to participate. Because A, B, and C on that screen are all appealing to similar but very specific audiences. So remember to do those personas for you and your business too. Now, adding a goal to your profile makes a difference. This is a mocked up example of a LinkedIn profile for Fatima Allen. You can see the example on the left is reasonably dry. It's not offering a huge amount of information there at all. It's telling you, her name, she's a regional sales manager. It's very sort of functional, but it doesn't really give you a lot of insight. Let's have a look at building that profile. Again, LinkedIn is a fantastic way to be found online, to be seen online, and to share your thought leadership. So give as much information as you feel comfortable giving. She's a sales development leader. She's scaling global biz dev teams to deliver quality inbound and outbound pipeline to closers. So again, within her industry, that is going to be something that stands out. There's a much bigger about section. Passionate about scaling global business development teams, empowering, deliver quality. Again, look at some of the keywords that she's using in there. Delivering quality, inbound, outbound, pipeline, founder, director. There are lots and lots of great words which might be found by people looking for products or services just like her. Again, we'll kind of develop this a little bit more as we go along too. So we've just come to the first section where we've been looking at brands, how to develop a brand, what a brand means, thinking about how we might want to develop our brand's tone of voice. So we're going to come into the first port of questions. I'm just going to have a look and see what's coming. So we've got a question from Shredder. What main things should be mentioned on the first page? Okay, first page needs to be attention grabbing. It needs to compel the audience. It needs to perhaps be dynamic and demonstrate to your audience and your potential customer what the benefits of engaging with you are, what your value proposition is. It's about capturing people's attention and keeping them there and saying, yes, actually, I've clicked onto this webpage. It also needs to be really, really relevant to the thing that they're searching for. So make sure that the first page always has all of the relevant information on to help people make a potential buying, purchasing, or engagement decision. That's really, really important. So thank you very much indeed for that question. There's another one just come in. Let's have a look. I'm thinking specifically in terms of employers searching candidates' online profiles. Presumably, if my personal accounts are the highest level of privacy, they'll be private from employers. You need to look at your platforms and what you're going to be keeping private and what you want to make public. Some people, if you're looking for online jobs or you're applying for jobs, or you might be under the impression, Alex, that you're going to be searched for online, then lock down the profiles that you want locked down and make, or maybe even establish specifically if you're applying for jobs online, a public profile that demonstrates how good you are for the types of roles that you're going for. That can be a good way to do it as well. But yeah, check the privacy settings. Each platform is slightly different. Each platform will have extensive privacy settings that you can check, that you can feel comfortable with in terms of what you share and what you don't share. So thank you very much indeed for that question. All right, so we're going to move on. Let's have a look at building our brand online. So we want to decide our goal. So maybe our goal is to find new job opportunities. It could be to find more followers. It could be to find new clients. So that's pretty broad though, isn't it? And again, we'll look at a way to actually perhaps get into a bit more detail to help us really, really focus on the specifics. So ways that we've got here to define our goal. This could be a good way to present it, a good way to perhaps write it down on a piece of paper, talk to somebody, or again, perhaps you want to just drop something that you've come up with in the chat. I want to present myself online like a digital expert because I want to help other individuals achieve their digital goals. That's just off the top of my head. I want to, maybe if you were a chef, I want to present myself online like a food expert because I want to maybe like the Sheena Maui example because I want to make my living from food reviews, or maybe I want to, establish myself as a bit of a well-trusted, authentic food critic. So think, maybe someone would like to drop in an example online. I want to present myself online like whatever that might be, because I want to. What is it you want to do and why do you want to do it? This is a good way to help you to focus that. Now, I will know I have been successful when. So, okay, what's your measure of success here? I will know I have been successful when I've been invited to write a blog for a particular restaurant, when I've been offered a job, when I have gained 100 followers, when I have received 50 buy it nows from my website. There are many, many ways that you can measure your success, but at least, maybe you want to set a time scale to that too, using those SMART goals. So, maybe I'm going to have 50, I want 50 sales in 3 months. After 3 months, if you've only achieved 35 sales, why is that? What are you doing? What are you doing on your platforms? What messages are you putting out there? What do you think you can improve that you can do more of? And what do you think you need to do less of because it's not working? All of digital marketing and brand presence and brand building is initially very much kind of an experiment. All of digital marketing, including brand building, is an experiment that you need to test. You need to set a time period to. You need to evaluate what you've done well, and what you could do slightly better, and then do more of the things that you've done well, or build your confidence in the areas that perhaps you've not been that great in so far. So it's a very much a test and learn, test and learn, test and learn. So don't always be put off either too early, because it's very, very rare in life that we're actually going to be able to be a superb or amazing at something first time. So be nice to yourself and give yourself a chance to succeed as well. So the more detail that we can give, the better. So we're going to elaborate on those examples. So again, we wanted to find new job opportunities, but actually now we wanted to find new job opportunities as a chef near Liverpool. That helps narrow things down. We want to find more followers of oboe enthusiasts. So that's a pretty niche place, that's a pretty niche area that we want to be able to build upon. So what forums, what websites, where are oboe enthusiasts hanging out online? We want to find new clients to buy our pottery aprons. So our main offering is pottery aprons. So where do people who would wear, what are people who are going to wear pottery aprons? What do they do? What's their hobby? Where is their hobby? Where are the forums for those individuals online, so that we can actually find them? You're growing communities, you're going to be getting involved in communities, and there's two, reasonably niche communities to find your way into there. Maybe there are groups on social media where these exact types of people hang out, and maybe you need to be part of that community too. Now, we want to build out our target audience. So who do I need to reach to make my goal come true? For the examples that we've had, like Sheena Maui, then she needs to be able to reach out and find people who are foodies, that are interested in understanding food, local offerings, local restaurants, good recipes within a particular niche. So I need to find them. And this is where we do start to think about building our personas. And our personas, as we can see here, let's spend a little bit of time on this. Building out your target audience is absolutely crucial. And the key word there is target. You need a target audience to work towards. I think that targeting your audience, especially when you're looking at quite niche industries as well, rather than just throwing a message out there and seeing how it catches the wind, you need to be thinking about particular audiences, who engages with your types of services or product. What type of age range do they have? Where are they based? Location could have a lot to do with it, especially if you're a local business, because your reach is going to be fairly limited, especially if you're a walk-in business. So therefore, if you're a local walk-in business that's based in London, then there's no real point you trying to appeal to people in Edinburgh, because those people are unlikely to be traveling all of that way, especially if there's lots of competition for your types of services in that particular area as well. So, you have to kind of logic it out and start to think, who am I trying to reach? How far will people reasonably travel to come to me, to find me? Am I a local business? Am I a UK business? Am I an international business? Who can I supply, and who is it that's going to be looking for me in terms of convenience and in terms of me being the solution to their particular challenge? All of these questions can really, really help you define an audience. It says there, has an account on. Are they on Facebook? Are they on Twitter? Are they on Instagram? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on Snapchat? Are they on TikTok? They're not going to be on them all. And again, that helps you in terms of, thinking about the channels that you want to use, thinking about the channels that you can populate and keep current. There's no point having 9 different channels there if 8 of them you're just not doing anything on, because to me, again, I would look at that as a possible credibility issue. So they've got 9 different ways that I can find them, but only one of them seems to be being used. So I wonder why they're not populating their Twitter feeds, their Instagram feeds, their Facebook feeds. It asks too many questions, and usually perhaps when we get to that point, we might click off and go elsewhere and find another business that does keep you up to date with exactly what's going on and keeps their feeds nicely built up and curated over time. All of these things can affect reputation, or the perception of reputation. So think about what people like. Again, they do this. People who are great examples in that writing for social media module I was talking about, in terms of people that like pizza and fast food. You have to start to build out, is that because they don't have much time to cook? Are they leading busy lives? Do they not have enough time to perhaps settle down and cook their own food? Are they always in a hurry? Do they have limited time in which to eat, so they order out? Think about the lifestyle potentially of the particular audience that you're trying to target. What don't they like? What do they read? What do they care about? Sustainability is a huge topic now. It's all working towards net neutral in terms of our carbon emissions. So a company which might use sustainable products, sustainable delivery, sustainable methods of keeping their business ticking over. Think about what you do, and again, all of the positive brand attributes that can bring to you that might draw people to you as well. What do they spend money on? Tech. If somebody's into lots of gadgets and tech, what are they spending the money on? They're spending the money on perhaps the latest phones, the latest gadgets. Again, that will probably mean that they frequent certain types of websites, certain types of blogs, that they're looking at certain places. Can you be there as well to catch their attention and to really, really find that target audience? Now, that does sound like quite a lot, but luckily, well, not luckily, really. Again, all through design, there are going to be tools that are going to help us to find our target audience ideal. So you've got Audience Finder. So again, put that into your search engine of choice. It's a good starting point. It offers free UK-based analytics on the UK cultural landscape. So if you're looking to run events through your brand, potentially it's absolutely ideal. There are lots and lots of audience identification tools. So again, look them up, audience identification tools and then maybe the particular business that you're in, or the particular thing that you're trying to achieve. You've got Instagram for business, so social media business profiles, Facebook for business, highly popular. Not always saying that these are the right platforms for your audience. You need to do that research and find out a bit more about them. But nonetheless, these can be good pointers for you to at least consider. You've got Page Insights. Whatever platform you're on, look to see if it has an insights function, an analytics function assigned to it that can help you understand when your key audience is interacting with you, the times of day they're online, what they're clicking on, what they're liking about you and your site. And of course, people search. So you can use tools like LinkedIn to help you really link with some important people that could be important to you in your future. LinkedIn's got some great functionality in it. It helps you to share your general wisdom online about the topic that you're interested in. You can use hashtags to join up and be part of wider conversations. And it's a great way to show people that you're the person that they might well want to join up with or learn from. Now, specialist platforms are also out there. So if we're a writer, maybe we want to meet fellow writers. So the platform for that, there's meetup.com. That's an important one. Meetups, networking. Try and network. Always great for your brand. Always a great way to get out there and meet new people as well. You know, if you're looking to sell homemade jewelry, then Etsy is a great platform to use. Not on the high street, maybe even Facebook Marketplace, but there are platforms for you for these particular niches, for these particular ways, and a good angle in if you are looking to find people who want to buy your homemade jewelry. Building contracts, mybuilder.com. You know, people who need building work. Go and find relevant websites that are full of people looking for your products or services. So choose the platform where your audience is the most engaged. It's a really, really great tactic, a great strategy to use. Now we're going to go back to our brand building. Now that we've let a lot of this information sink in, we're really establishing a good online presence. We're doing our best to be found in the most positive and conducive ways by our targeted audience. So how are we going to describe our brand? I've mentioned to you before about some of those examples. George Clooney with the suave, sophisticated, smooth. So what words might describe your brand? Maybe if I was in health and well-being, I'd want to be trustworthy. I'd want to be warm. I'd want to be expert. You know, if I was a media organization, perhaps I'd like to be professional. Perhaps I'd like to be well established. Perhaps I'd like to be creative. So again, 3 brand words. Let's have 3 brand words that are going to help you describe you, the product or service that you're building, or your existing business. Yeah, let us know, please, in the chat. That'd be really, really good. And again, this really helps other people just to start to focus and think. You know, for example, if you were a firm of solicitors, maybe you would be serious, straightforward, and trustworthy. 3 great brand attributes for a firm of solicitors. Think about it for you. So we're going to get back to that Fatima Allen example that we were talking about previously. So Fatima Allen has been really thinking about her online presence and what she can do to get people to be as interested in her as is possible. So she's got a good handle, which is the @Fatima_Allen. It's clear, it's her name. It's going to be very difficult to confuse @Fatima Allen. She's a customer service manager from Manchester, interested in content marketing opportunities. She's an Open University graduate in English literature, a regular contributor to BuzzFeed and HuffPost. New ideas or opportunities, email her. So she's got a contact point on there. Very, very important. That call to action too. So she's now exciting her audience by giving them the things that they want, that they can actually get from her: benefits, value proposition. So the offer there, think about what your offer could be. You are So customer service manager from Manchester, interested in content marketing opportunities. So she wants to get into the field of content marketing. Her expertise to help back up why she's going for that is that she's a graduate in English literature, and she's a regular contributor to 2 very well-established feeds, which are BuzzFeed and HuffPost. So therefore, if she's regularly contributing to those, she's got a portfolio that you can look up online. So think about portfolios and what you can send people through to see how well you do something. And then that call to action. A call to action is essentially getting your audience to do something that you'd like them to do. They're really, really crucial. What's to do next? Think about how you're guided by buy now and sign up here, or email us or call us. All the things that we potentially want to do on our online journey. So for new ideas or opportunities, email Fatima_Allen@gmail. A good contact point, swift. We can get there. We can use that quickly. Now, we want to be consistent because consistency does build trust. The examples that we can see here, I think, are quite crucial in terms of one of those sticks out a little bit for me. I think I'm very happy with that Health Doctor because we can see some very healthy food there. at that health doctor. Kind of it describes relevantly what's going on in that picture. John the bread maker, you've got a picture of someone making some bread. We know what's going on there. John bread maker, we can guess what that person does very authoritatively for a living. What about the middle example at I love cakes _du? And it's a guy playing a guitar. Not really sure what the message is there. That can be a confusing message. That could make me switch off, because we don't want to be made to work too hard. We want things to fall into place quite a lot. We want swiftly to be able to make informed decisions. So is at I love cakes to you, is that the band name? Does he love cakes? Does he like playing the guitar? Too many confusing messages that can potentially get people to click off. So let's have a good look at the Sheena Maui example again, just to really hammer home some of these points. Really, really important, I think, in terms of that consistency. We've got a relevant photo from Sheena, a good profile image, a relevant handle, again, Sheena Maui. It's hard to get that wrong or to mix that up, because that's her name. So it's relevant to her and what she's trying to achieve. And then the content that she's got on that profile are reflecting the offerings, the things that she does. So you give your user a good user experience. Essentially, they find the things that they want. It doesn't take you off into different directions and things that you think, I'm not quite sure how I got here or how we started to talk about this, when I'm actually interested in food and cookery and recipes. So Sheena is doing a good job of keeping everything nice and consistent there. So I can see just an example that has come in from Margarita in relation to my 3 words. Thank you so much, Margarita. That is superb. Warm, funny, and joyful. So what's your business there, Margarita? What are you doing that needs you, or that makes you warm, funny, and joyful? What's your line of business? That'd be really, really interesting to know. And thank you so much for contributing into the chat there. That's really, really appreciated. So remember to keep everything relevant, as you can see from Sheena's example. Now you want to create your handle and a biography. So as we saw with Fatima, we really want to be able to show the skills and strengths and the experience that we've got. Then we want to give the message, the selling message of what our target audience wants to hear. What is it that we're doing? What's our experience? What's our expertise? What do we offer? And then step 3, take about 4 minutes to write your bio. So this is a good exercise for after this. You're starting to think about what a good handle for yourself. That's essentially your online name or the way you're represented. What things are your target audience wanting to hear from you, because they are looking for that type of product or service? Take about 4 minutes, write it, go walk away, then come back and look at it again. Does it work? Does it make sense? Are there words you might need to move around? You need to reduce the wording. Is it too wordy? Does it get to the point? Does it really capture an image? Does it paint a picture for your audience? If it doesn't, rework it. That's what pen and paper for, or your online documents. Delete, start again. Keep a sentence, move it around, see what works best. Get a trusted friend or colleague to read it and say, does this really represent what I'm trying to achieve? What I'm trying to achieve is this, and then get them to comment back for you on that. All right, so we are now going to move into the next pause for questions. Okay, Margarita, I can see there's still no business, just thinking out loud what best described my idea. Perfect. Perfect. I mean, those are very positive things that we would like to be able to find and perhaps associate for you and your brand. I mean, those are nice brand values, aren't they? That I'm warm, I'm funny, and I'm joyful. Joyful, again, sounds great. We live in a difficult world, so anybody that can help bring joy into our lives is probably going to be well appreciated. So yeah, thank you. Again, great input. And it shows that we're just working strongly to establish a presence and get our customers interested in us, get our target audience interested in us as well. So with no further questions, no further questions. And I can see Benedict is keeping you very, very busy in the chat there. So massive thanks to Benedict for all the work that he's doing there. Let's move into the third section, which is all about increasing our online visibility. Now, LinkedIn, as we've mentioned, is a really good professional platform. It's got lots and lots of advantages. I've heard a few comments every now and again about LinkedIn being like an online CV. It's so much more than that. So check it out. If you haven't already, think about getting yourself a profile, especially if you are looking to break into a new industry or looking for a new job, or you want to connect with people that might be working for a company that you really, really want to work for. Have a look at some of the functionality on LinkedIn. Now, recruiters are on LinkedIn. You can receive job offers if your profile is up to date and contains the information and the keywords when you're building your profile that you might be found for. So there's a great advantage too. You can also give recommendations and endorse people. So people can recommend and endorse you. Ex-colleagues, for example, people you've worked with, your boss can say, I love working with Glenn because he's really friendly, he gets to the point, he delivers great training, he gives some insightful overviews and helps people to move forward. That would be a great recommendation that I would really love to receive. You can also link to other profiles, which is really important too. So you're giving people more options to understand you and to find out more about you. It could be your website, could be your Facebook, your Instagram, your Snapchat, whatever social media platform you're on. You can link all of those other profiles in to help people gain a broader understanding of you. So use your profiles to your advantage. Now, the ways to grow your network in a social world, in a social context, we want to post unique, high quality content. We need to stop people from scrolling. We need to catch people in just flicking through lots and lots of information very, very quickly. You can't really get away with publishing under par or subpar unoriginal content. There's a lot of noise out there. So you want to stand out from that noise. You want to find everything we've talked about today, that unique voice for your brand. How is your content different from everybody else that's out there? How does it differ from your competitors or your kind of industry peers? Give that type of thing some serious thought. Are you going to stand out with jaw-dropping photos, thought-provoking captions to elicit some responses? Give your followers something they might want to share. So this high quality content takes a bit of time to work on, but again, help it by defining the goal, the thing that you want to achieve from that post. Definitely connect with your audience is what it's all about. It's social. Even just saying thank you to a comment or to a response can help you appear very, very personable. When you're on social media, I tend to think that you become your own customer service department immediately. And so you need to conform to the rules and the things that you would expect from a good customer service department. The things that you find good about customer service, a lot of your audience will find good about it too. But also a lot of the things that might switch someone off from a customer service perspective will apply to you too. So define your standards. If you know that you can't reply to a post generally, or to a comment or to a question for 48 hours, make that visible somewhere. I will get back to you within 48 hours, because then the person that's posted isn't hanging around thinking, are they going to respond? Are they going to respond? They have an expectation. Be consistent. That is absolutely key. You don't want to go off track too much. You can go off key sometimes, but generally you want to be there and you want to be giving a message that builds up an image, that builds a personality that people can identify with, rather than jumping off into many, many different types of areas. Maybe it's even that could be just posting on particular days of the week or at particular times, so that your audience starts to understand and gets into your routine. Then post regularly. There's no right answer to how many times you should be posting. It depends on what your audience wants and what your audience appreciate and what you feel is going to supply your audience with the right amount of relevant information. That could be 5 times a day. That could be once a day. That could be once a week. That could be 10 times a week. That could be whatever it is. You need to work that out. You could poll your audience. There are lots of platforms where you can send out polls to understand, how often do you want to hear from me? If you look at newsletters now, a lot of them will say, would you like a weekly aggregated piece of content that shows you everything that's happened that week? Or would you like individual emails as soon as something happens? Give people choice. They really, really like choice. Grow your network, comment, like, and react. Get involved. It's a social platform. You have social opportunities. Be visual. Use the images and videos, because they do capture people's attention, and it could be the thing that makes them click through. Use networking tools to connect as well. There are things like Feedly. Again, if Benedict wouldn't mind sharing some of these, Feedly or getpocket.com, BuzzSumo. Lots of ways to find thought leaders, perhaps to find thought leader content, and for you to be able to understand conversations you'd like to hook into, to demonstrate your expertise as well. So use all of the tools that are available to you and share your power, share your expertise in that particular industry. Use your online network to find new opportunities as well. When you're thinking about maybe job seekers, maybe you do want to be linking with people from a particular company or get into conversations where a particular interviewer is. You can just go online and look at decision makers in companies. You can see what they're into, what they're interested in. What can you contribute to that conversation? Oh, I remember seeing you online. You commented a really brilliant post, and it was really insightful. It really helped me to establish perhaps a slightly different perspective on something. All of these things can really obviously work very much in your advantage, and create shareable content that you want people to share out for you. Something, I've had a great time here, I'm going to share it because I want you to have a great time too. Imagery is absolutely key. Images with updates can gain over 150% more retweets. People love photos of people's faces, smiley faces, not grumpy faces, but smiley faces, because it really gives a positive light to what's going on there. Again, think about what we like and what is going to help us make us feel better as well. Smiley faces go a long way towards achieving that. And people love live broadcasted videos too, just like this one. It gives people that feeling of immediacy. People don't want to miss out, that fear of missing out thing, which is very prevalent in society now as well. But look at that, live broadcasted videos, just like this, get 3 times more views than traditional videos, because it's there, you're in the moment. It's, especially, I suppose, when you look at the impacts of lockdown and that sort of thing over time, is that we didn't get the opportunity to be there, but we now understand that we can be there in many different ways, and live videos are a great way to do that. People upload live streaming content to the social media platforms. They might give quick reviews. It's a great way to build up good content. Look at the popularity now of reels and stories on platforms like Facebook and Instagram, where perhaps in a lot of cases, these reels, these short clips, are getting more traction and more interest from people than the actual posts that are being posted. Do your research and have a look and see what might work for you and for your business. Now, you want to develop a visual look and feel. You don't want to over filter. Please don't stage your photos or over filter, but consider a way to be seen. When you look at billboards and some display advertising, you will start to recognize brands by the way they represent themselves, or particular things they might even have in a set of ads. Oh, that's such and such a company because they've got a certain thing in it. That can help people just to recognize you when they're out and about, or use you again and again based on familiarity. Use polls, as we've mentioned, to ask questions. Tell your story, the background of why you're passionate about what you do and why. Post about it. Do those live streams. You can do live streams on YouTube Live like we are, Facebook, Instagram, Twitcher. There are so many platforms that you can get crucial information from and about your audience on, and that you can interact and have a great time interacting and networking and building relationships. So over to you. Think about what kind of content appeals to your target audience. What's the key message that you want to communicate, what you're trying to get across, and what's your visual look and feel? All of those things brought together are going to help you to build a very firm brand. All right, so that's a lot of information. Now we are getting right towards the end of the presentation now. So let's just have a look. No, I can't see any more questions coming in, but I can definitely see that Benedict's been a busy lad today in the chat. So I hope that he's answered all your questions and given you lots of insights too. I'm absolutely certain that he has. We'd love your feedback. So please go to gwo.gle/digital garage feedback. Let us know how this session was for you. Again, share the details, perhaps share something you've learned today on your social media. I learned this today. It's been really, really useful but give us your feedback so that we can help improve these sessions and help to grow our offerings to you as well. So in terms of next steps, just really consider who you are and what your online presence is, what you want it to represent, what your goals are, what you want to achieve, because every post needs a goal. If you're not sure of what it is you want to achieve, maybe don't post until you know what you do. Again, that consistency, that thing of making sure that you've got a purpose and that you're taking your audience on a journey, that can be absolutely crucial. Take your users on a journey, give them a happy journey, give them a productive journey. Give them an experience that they're going to remember, that they're going to share, and that they're going to want other people to experience too, because you now are the go-to person or organization based on the brand that you've built. So remember, if there's anything you'd like to discuss in mentoring, go to g.co/UK mentoring. There might be topics today you want to discuss in a bit more detail. Then please sign up, g.co/UK mentoring, if you're a small business or charity that's based in the UK. All that leaves me to do is say thank you very much indeed. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here with you this morning. Remember, our feedback, our hashtag is Digital Garage, so you could definitely put your hashtag up across social media. And that leads me to say thank you very much. Thank you again to Benedict. Thank you for all of the comments that you've made. Emma is mentoring available to sole traders. Absolutely. Please do get involved. Please do sign up to that process. And hopefully I will see you all again soon on another Google Digital Garage webinar. See you all soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.